officer at Coast Guard Sea Dragon out of Kings Bay, Georgia. I just got here to command July 5th, and we have the ship in dry dock right now. So I'm going to talk about diversity. So it's very important as an OIC or CO, but we're going over OIC stuff. So I'm going to say OIC is to know about diversity. What is diversity? So on the boards, board members will ask you, what is diversity to you as an officer in charge? So know what diversity is. And if anybody hasn't been on there yet, there is a page on DCMS page. It is CG12B. It is the actual, pull it up right here, but it's actually the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And on there they have an actual toolkit for commanding officers and officer in charges to use. It talks about the different parts of diversity. So you have the personal diversity, so you're talking about age, sex orientation, and then you're talking about outside that, there's another realm. So I'll go into that a little bit, but I just looked up diversity. What is it? So diversity is understanding that each individual at your unit and in the Coast Guard are unique in recognizing our individual differences. These can be along the dimensions of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, age, physical abilities, religious beliefs, political beliefs, or other ideologies. All right, so that's just knowing that everybody's different in the Coast Guard, but everybody brings something to the table. And being sure that as the officer in charge that you know your people, you know where they come from, you know their different the diversity of them, you know how diverse they are, and you use that to in a positive manner at your unit, right? So, you know, if you know somebody who's got a college degree in something or is a guru at something at, like, let's say on the computer or something, but they're not on IT, but you're having issues, you know, like bring that person into your office and say, hey, I'm having this issue with such and such program. What do you know? Can you help me out? You know, how can you help the unit? You know, so using your people, let them take pride in knowing the things that they can bring to the table can benefit the unit and the Coast Guard, right? So that is what diversity is. Making sure that you go to the Coast Guard Diversity and Inclusion Strategic Plan. If you haven't read that, that was from I think 2012, 2018, I believe. That's also on the webpage. So you can go online, go to CG Portal, look up the actual toolkit. It's a really good read. I read it today for this training, just to brush myself up on as a CO about how I can use diversity for my unit, right? So a question that could be asked at a board is, how is diversity positive? Can it be negative? Right? So think about those kind of answers. Think about, is diversity ever a negative? Right? Or is it just a positive? So think about when you're sitting there, like that question might be thrown at you. You're thinking, is it a negative? I don't know. Like, how do I answer this? You got to answer it as how you think or how you know diversity works for you as the OIC, right? So diversity for me is never a negative thing. It's always a positive thing. You always want to use it in that positive way at your unit. Stepping foot on the Sea Dragon, I pretty much told the crew, it's your ship. Do what you want. Tell me what you want to do. Show me your ideas. Tell me your ideas, right? We have a BM2 who's very great at free drawing. Like, she can paint anything with free hand, right? So she came to me with an idea, and I was like, let's do it. You know, let's make this ship ours, right? So being able to use those people's talents and their different diverse backgrounds is a great tip and great use, and it will definitely help the Coast Guard in the long run, right? Any questions out there? Has anybody ever been to that CG12B website or page on the portal gotten into any of the toolkits? They have a huge reading list there as well that you can get into. It's they have books, they have a video there you can get into. I'm going to pull up the website again now. Have you guys read the diversity statement? That should be posted at your unit. Ensure that's posted at your unit. Read it. Let me pull this up. Sorry for the delay. Nick's a little late. Just kidding. What's up, Nick? Thank you again for putting this college on for everybody and getting all the instructors together. Here we go. So there's, I'll pull it up here. So that's, if you can see it, it's a little blurred out. Let's see. So there's a kind of the link there, and it's hard to see. But I'm saying just get in there and read the toolkit, get into the diversity library, look into it, read the strategic plan, just brush up on how you can use diversity at your unit in a positive manner. So here's our diversity toolkit. It has everything on here that you would need as an officer in charge or CO. So the first one is your Officer's Diversity Management Guide. So it just goes over everything there. Yes, you're right, Leah. So I'm just giving you the basics about diversity. Chief Chasteen is very correct. Just know what diversity means to you as the officer in charge. Think about the answer and make sure it comes from the heart and not from here, okay? Because the board's looking to see exactly how you as a person, as the officer in charge, think of a diversity. They don't want to know like you specific. What am I trying to say? It's not what you think what they want to hear. It's what you have to say and tell them, right? So, again, just think of it from the heart. On here, you got the Diversity Management Handbook, Command Guide to Pregnancy Policies. Like, this is all a great use of resources and a one-stop and shop for certain manuals and instructions that you may be looking for that all that have something to do with diversity in our units. So, I'm telling you right now, like, how we get into this, give it a look over. Definitely go through the Commanding Officer's Diversity Management Guide. It talks about how we all follow the honor, respect, devotion, duty. How does that fall into diversity and being an OIC? How do you use that? Here's some things. How have you demonstrated commitment to diversity? So a question you should be asking yourself every day. How have you demonstrated commitment to diversity? What have you done for diversity lately? What is your comfort zone? When did you last get out of it, right? So we all have our comfort zones. When's the last time we got out of it? I'm telling you right now, my first time out of my comfort zone was doing this. Getting on here for the very first training, not knowing what to expect. If you lead on diversity, how many of your followers are here today? So think about you as a leader growing up in the Coast Guard. If you've used diversity in your leadership, right? How many of those people today are still in the Coast Guard? How many people do you think you impacted to remain in the Coast Guard because you use their diverse backgrounds, right? Another one is, do you address diversity in your command philosophy? So this could be a big one on your board too. Making sure that you have diversity integrated into your command philosophy. What's going on, Senior Chief Martin? So, again, when you talk to the board about your command philosophy, that's the second question most likely will be asked of the board. Talk about, people. If you're talking about people, what about you people, right? Are you using their diverse background to better the unit, better the Coast Guard. Like, is that part of your command philosophy? Just think about how you incorporate that in your command philosophy. Does your unit have an active Leadership Diversity Advisory Council, or LDAC, right? So if you don't have one, do you start one? And if so, how? Who's part of that LDAC? Think about that as an OIC. Think about the OMI survey. The OMI can be used as well to find out how you're using diversity. All right, so Corey, the way I do it is I got on board and I met the crew and spoke with them individually, just find out where they're from, what kind of hobbies they have, interests they have, things like that, right? So I've got a very, my crew age group, we all know, is 18 to me, 42. So there's a huge age gap, right? So I could be old school. I don't know a lot about, certain things that these younger kids know. Technology is one of them. I'm not a techie. And my XPO would say that, I always tell him before he asks me a question, I'm not a techie, I'll try to help you, right? But, and then knowing what they bring to the table with, education or any of the hobbies or fun things they like to do, and saying to them, how can we better the unit? How can we better the ship, right? Like I mentioned, my BM2, she's really good at freehand painting. So she took the seal that we have, it's a dragon with a seal around it, and she put it on one of the console covers on the bridge, and she freehand painted the whole thing, and it looks amazing. And I told her that. When I saw that today, I said, oh, that's such an awesome job. Did you freehand that? She's like, I sure did, bosun. I was like, it rocks. It's like, continue on with this, making the ship ours and make it the Sea Dragon, right? We have a young member who's really mechanically inclined, talking to them, and taking them from the non to being a seaman and shift them over to the engineering, let them work on and do things that they like to do. Right, so what else? You have different religious, different political bases. When those conversations start, you got to be very careful about how far you let them go, or we just got to be mindful of that. But I really like having them come to me and say, I really want to do this, and if they have, they show that interest, you let them do it, let them take that pride. Oh, there he is. There's my XPO. What's going on, Chase? I'm not a techie, right? So, with that, I'll take a couple questions. It's been a short video. Can't really talk about a whole lot more than just giving you a basis about diversity, knowing the diversity statement, making sure they're posted at your unit, getting into the CG-12B, going into that directorate, and reading a lot of the different diversity books you can read, learning about diversity, but also using the commanding officer or command guide to diversity. So I'll open up to some questions. I know I've seen a couple here. Corey, did I answer your question? Thanks, Josh. Hope everything's good in Virginia. Oh, that's a great one, Master Chief. Thanks for coming online and being a part of this. So know the Etheridge Initiative. I'll actually have to get back into that one. Thanks for reminding me on that one, Master Chief. So, some homework I gotta do now. know Steven would do that to me. He said, never mind. I'll pull it up. We have time. This is supposed to go for about an hour, and I don't want to waste too many people's time here, but I'll look it up, pull up a website for you. Maybe Mass Chief, you got me on that one. And I'm having issues with my internet. So currently I'm doing this through my hotspot on my cell phone. We don't have internet yet at the house. The internet company taking like 2 weeks to get here, so my phone's locked up for whatever reason. It's not doing anything. Alright, my bad, Bosun. Didn't see Mash Chief's comment. Oh. No worries, Steve. It's alright. Okay, so the purpose of the Etheridge Initiative is to get more minority groups interested in the Bosun's Mate rating. So this is coming off the Coast Guard training site here. So this has got to be interested in the Bosun Mate rating by having experts come and talk to them about the importance of having a diverse workforce and how bringing different groups of people with different backgrounds perspective helps to accomplish the mission. So there's the Etheridge Initiative. So Mass Chief put it out there too. He just wrote a thing about it. So it's just about getting a diverse group for the Bosun Mate rating, which I think Mass Chief, you were the father of that one. So, a good thing too as an OIC is you see the messages coming out about sponsoring a recruit company, being Bosun Mates, different diverse backgrounds. Be pretty cool to sponsor one and you can bring to the table and talk about the Bosun Mate rating and how we use that diverse group of people in that rating. Or also even taking part of some discussions with new members at a bigger unit, holding career days kind of. I know in Hawaii they did it a lot at Base Hana where they had different ratings there and they talked about the rating, putting it out there about Bosun Mates and about the diverse background we're trying to build. So sweet, that's awesome. Seeing that Mass Chief and Chief are part of that, it's great to know. But there you go. That was the Etheridge Initiative. It's great initiative, and I like the idea of it, and falls into today's topic of diversity. So thanks for bringing that up, Master Chief. Appreciate that, and I'm sure everybody on here does too, knowing about it. Any other questions? Comments? No? Okay, so again, these trainings are supposed to go about an hour or less, so I don't want to take up everybody's night now. About touching on heading diversity plates. Okay, so McGowan just said the all hands briefs from the Commandant is a great tool to use. Going to Beelman Bossinger. How about touching on handling diversity complaints? More specifically, does legal have to get involved? Can it be handled in-house? Like, what kind of complaint are you kind of talking about? Is because you have the process, right? So you have a civil rights complaint process, which kind of falls into a bit of the diversity. So just knowing the process for that, and knowing that what you can do there as an OIC, handling it at the level, making sure that the person feels whole when you complete the process, but they can always go higher level, right? If they don't feel that the way you handled it was done right, and then they can get districts and everybody else involved, your civil rights EEO officers. So touch up on the policies there in the manuals. But great question, Jeremy. All right, so with that, I don't want to keep everybody on here. If nobody else got anything, just saw Bosun Control jump on here. Garrett Daly. I'm going to go ahead and end it. So, again, just no worries, Jeremy. And if like I've said before in all my videos, you know where I'm at. You can reach out to me, talk to me about, or ask me questions if you want. So with that, just again, diversity, knowing what it is, but what does it mean to you? How do you incorporate that in your command philosophy? And then how do you use it in the positive manner at your unit, right? So, and always think about your answer, how you would answer a question as if diversity ever a negative thing at your unit. So with that, I wish you all a good night and a great week. Hopefully you're all studying the books. I know we got a great week lined up this week for all the trainings, so make sure you're getting on there and watching them. All these videos are saved online, and I will see you all in August when I come on back on for piloting training. So with that, see you later.